In this episode, we continue our look at G.I. Joe classified figures the internet would love Hasbro to make. This time, it's Cobra's turn, so stick around. And dorkettes, and welcome to Nostalgia Syndrome. My name's Rob, and in this episode we will be talking about the Cobra figures the G.I. Joe community would love Hasbro to make in the G.I. Joe classified line. Now, last time we talked about the G.I. Joe figures that everyone wants to see, and the list that I was given was made by an awesome viewer by the name of Cornelius McGillicuddy. He did so much cross-referencing and research into the Joe community on different websites and different Facebook groups and YouTube videos, and even combed different comments and everything to get this list. The dude is a machine, and I am so impressed and thankful that he presented this list to me and to all you in the comments section. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be reading his comment again. I mean, it's great and I would love to, but with time restraints, because the last episode ran pretty long, which is why I'm doing this follow-up episode. My original plan was to do one big episode, but with how long the G.I. Joe one went, I thought it would be better suited to split this and do two separate episodes. Now, I know sometimes that works against me with the whole, view ratio, but please check out the original episode to hear me read his comment and the criteria and methods that he used to get this list, because it's pretty fascinating and, like I said, pretty darn awesome just how much work he put into this. So, Cornelius, you're awesome, dude, and yeah, I'm having a blast talking about these figures, and thanks to you, we actually know which ones the community wants to see. Now, like I said before in the previous episode, this list is huge. I'm only talking about the top 15. And if you want to know what the other ones are on the list, please go to the pinned comment, which is the top one, in the episode I did of G.I. Joe Classified wish list of the ones I wanted to see. It's from 6 months ago. I'll include a link to it at the end of this video. And like I said, it's the pinned comment, so just jump right to it, read it. And if you're enjoying these episodes, I can follow it up with a deeper dive into these huge lists. Because this list, the Cobra list, really surprises me. And with that surprise, I would like to do a deeper dive into at least the Cobra side of things. But if you're going to do Cobra, you might as well do Joe. But anyway, if you all want to see that, let me know in the comments. Anyway, onto the list. Now, we are going to be confronted with one of his rules of engagement, if you will, with number 15 on this list. Now, this got 71 votes, but it needs some definition. One of the notes he left about his criteria was very specific, that if someone in their own list or adding to someone else's list just gave a broad group, all the members got a tally. And number 15 is surprisingly a large group when you include some of its more rare, forgotten, and silly members, and that is the Dreadnocks and the Dreadheads. Now, a lot of these figures were included in the Dreadnought Rampage figure set. Some of them, I think, were comic characters created in either the Devil's Due or the IDW comic lines, but some of the names on the list, I have no idea who they are or any recollection of them. And let me list you off their names. And mind you, they all come in at number 15 because someone just said Dreadnocks or all the Dreadnocks. And I don't think they were counting on Cornelius to be this much of a stickler, which I'm very thankful for. So anyway, these members are Billy Bob, Burnout, Chop Shop, Cletus, Crusher, Death Metal, nice name, Demolisher, Heart Wrencher, Joe Bob, Chaos, Machete, Otis, Roscoe, Rugrat, and Vance. Like I said, some of these were included in the Dreadnought Rampage figure set as Dread Heads. So I guess they're kind of like the unpatched members of the biker gang. But some of them were downright silly looking. And I don't think people really meant these when they meant that they wanted to see them in classified form. But like I said, Cornelius, he ain't playing with his list, and I'm thankful for it. Now, number 14 on the list with 74 votes, wishes, what have you, is the Dreadnought Noga. Now, this would be pretty cool to be in a 2-pack with his Razorback boar. And he has some awesome accessories. I mean, he had like a sniper rifle, a knife, that like machete arm thing, which was kind of silly. But all those in a classified scale with its approach to realism might be kind of neat to see. Now, I'm not about glorifying a poacher in any way, shape, or form, but I mean, Nogahide's pretty cool. I mean, give him his awesome, like, Australian hat and awesome accessories, like I said, and his wild boar, and you got a pretty awesome figure. Number 13, again, another Dreadnought. This time, Zanzibar. And like I mentioned in the first episode, this would be a great figure to include hair with, to make his top knot like the original figure. Now, he got 76 votes. Just imagine if that was a 2-pack with his little, like skiff boat, airboat, whatever you want to call it, with the weapons that attach to the side. I mean, sell it like in a 2-pack like the Ram or the Coil. Now, I did mention rooted hair would be cool, but the more I think about it, if it was molded hair, that would equally be as neat. And, I mean, he's an eye patch wearing pirate looking dude. How can you go wrong with that? Number 12 on the list is the Night Viper with 77 votes. This was a figure I had as a kid and I loved it. He came with an awesome night vision array, awesome colors, awesome uniform. He had a rifle with a huge scope and like a flashlight on it that clipped to his side. He had an awesome gun. I mean, that would be a great figure. It would go hand in hand with the Alley Viper. I think it would just be a really neat addition to the Cobra forces in the classified line. And like I said, it offers great colors, great gear, and it would just be an awesome troop builder. Now, number 11 on the list with 82 votes surprises me. Now, it doesn't surprise me because of the theme this list kind of has taken on. It just kind of surprises me because this is a character that doesn't really get a lot of attention. It is Zanya, which is Zartan's daughter. She was created in 2001 for the Devil's Due comic book, which was technically volume 2 of the G.I. Joe comic book series. She actually received a figure in 2011 in the Dreadnought battle set that came with some pretty awesome figures. Now, like I said, it's kind of surprising. She would look great as a figure. I mean, that part doesn't surprise me. It's just that she has a fan following kind of surprises me. I mean, it would look great with her, like, green dreadlocks, her awesome, like, ripped up t-shirt, and I'm not 100% what her weapon of choice was, but knowing the Dreadnocks, it was probably pretty cool. I mean, it's awesome that she is a fan favorite, apparently, and a lot of people would like to see her in the classified line. Unfortunately, I don't see Hasbro going that route. I mean, if they would add more females to both rosters, Joe and Cobra, that's a bonus. But unfortunately, I think that there are other characters that would probably make the list before her. Now, number 10 is a tie. Both of these entrants to the list garnered 82 votes, and they are Dr. Mindbender and Thrasher. Now, it doesn't say if Thrasher should come with the Thunder Machine, but that would be awesome. A very high price point, but dude, can you imagine that in 6-inch scale? I mean, it would be pretty big, but so awesome. With the Gatling guns and everything, oh, I would love to see that. Anyway, Thrasher with his like lacrosse stick with the spiked ball, probably like built on the like armor thing he has, awesome green streak in his hair, would be an awesome classified figure. Now, Dr. Mindbender, yeah, that's a character I would love to have. Again, I think he would work best with cloth goods. Will the classified line ever utilize cloth goods? I highly doubt it, but for his cloak, cape, however you want to say it, it would be perfect. And I mean, how easy is that? He's a shirtless dude with like suspenders, purple pants, and like silver boots. And you can include his like awesome dentistry wand, spray thing, whatever it is. Or include some like awesome science gear. Give him some test tubes or like a cool laptop, something. I mean, that would be a neat addition to him and the rest of the classified line. You could do a lot of cool things with Dr. Mindbender, and he's a very big and important character to the G.I. Joe mythos. So, will he come one day? Maybe. I mean, I would love to see it, and it would kind of fit, because, especially with the Cobra Island thing, I mean, he would fit perfectly within that. Now, number 9 is also a tie. Both of these characters received 98 votes, and they're both Dreadnocks. We have Monkey Wrench, and we have Zandar. Zandar, if you don't know, is the twin brother of Zarana, which are Zartan's brother and sister. Now, Zandar, I always liked. He had a cool, like, arrow-firing gun, cool, you know, very 80s color scheme with the pink hair and the blue, and yeah, it just looked good. But the character itself had a very cool power. He could just virtually disappear. In a room full of people, he just carried himself in a way that he just blended into the scenery. So he kind of fits with the whole Zartan Master of Disguise color changing thing by just kind of blending into the scenery. And I don't think it's really a power, just how he kind of carries himself, which is neat. Now, Monkey Wrench, I love Monkey Wrench, but I also had a problem with him. Growing up, I always wanted the Dreadnought figures. You know, the 3, Torch, Buzzer, Ripper. Never was able to get them. But I got Monkey Wrench, so I kind of always saw him as a second best Dreadnought. Now, he's honestly pretty cool. He comes with a cool, like, trident type of rifle. Fits the group perfectly with his jeans and his top. And he has glasses. I mean, sunglasses. And you could make them removable. Other than that, he's pretty basic, and that works for him. I mean, he looks like an awesome biker dude, and he would be an awesome addition to the classified line and a building block onto all the other Dreadnoughts that are on this list. Now, number 8 is something I included on my list, and it's one I would love to see. With 105 votes is the Cobra Eels. Now, again, like I said with Torpedo in the first list, oxygen tank, spear gun, flippers, these would be great addition to your Joe classified line as a whole, because it's cool specialty gear for a specialized Cobra trooper. And the Cobra Eels look awesome. I mean, great color scheme, great look, great helmet. I mean, include a removable helmet, and you could have, you know, like a masked Cobra dude underneath it. I think that would be great. I mean, you could include 2 different heads, or just have a removable helmet. That would be awesome to see. And like I said in the first list, you need more specialized characters for the classified line. I mean, we have some great characters right now, but these specialized troops are great troop builders, and they're just great to have in your groups. So please, Hasbro, let's get some Cobra eels in the mix. Number 7, a personal favorite, one that came with some awesome gear, was a very important character in the comic and in the cartoon, kind of as a background character, but he did some awesome stuff, and that is Scrap Iron. With 111 votes, people want Scrap Iron. And give him his awesome flak jacket, you know, built up onto the character. I mean, awesome red and blue color scheme. That awesome missile launcher with controller. Give him his pistol and be done with it. And you never saw him without his helmet, but seeing a character with that helmet sculpted on would look tremendous. I mean, that would be so awesome. And like I said, he's a great character in the mythos of G.I. Joe and Cobra. And yeah, he should be on this list, and he should be made as a toy eventually. Again, please, Hasbro, give us some Scrap Iron. Number 6, we couldn't escape the Dreadnocks for long. This one, I would love to see in a bigger scale, like Roadblock, and that is Road Pig. With 113 votes, people want to see Road Pig. And he could have the removable, like, I don't know what you want to call it, like football shoulder pad thing with the spikes. Give him the huge axe-handled cinder block. Give him a sidearm, give him a knife, give him something else. But he needs to be in a bigger, bulkier scale like Roadblock. I think he would fit perfectly. And you don't have many Cobra characters that would fit that body style to go along and be a foil to Roadblock. You imagine the playtime fun that would be of them two duking it out? That would be the price of admission right there. And, I mean, are there more popular Dreadnought characters? Of course, and we'll get to them in the list. But, again, he's a very important character. And, how dare I forget it, his wrist crossbow. We've seen some great crossbows so far in this line. So, yeah, you already got those molded up. And all you got to do is make it attached to his wrist, and you got Road Pig. So, go for it. Now, number 5 on the list kind of surprised me because I think it should be higher. Now, with how the overall list has shaken out, I guess it makes complete sense. But I would like to see this guy at a higher rank, and that is Serpentor. 115 people have placed him at number 5 on the list. And like Mr. McGillicuddy said in his comments, which you can see in the first episode of this, he envisions this figure actually coming with his awesome air chariot. Now, again, an awesome 2-pack. We've seen great 2-packs with the ram and the coil. So this would fit perfectly with that. I mean, give it some awesome snake motifs, that big snake head. Even make it with the movable rotor like the original one did. And perfection. Some gold paint, and yes, you need it to be the OG Serpentor. I'm not a fan of the 25th anniversary one. I mean, he needs to have his whole Cobra hood attachment, not that just normal helmet crap that we saw in the 25th anniversary line. We need the whole thing. We need the green cape with like the golden threaded in there so it kind of looks shimmery. We need that. We need the hood. We need the fangs on the helmet. And make it like the comic book version that came out in the early 2000s, where you could take his helmet off and you see his stunning, handsome visage. But this is a very important character within the G.I. Joe mythos. I mean, it's Serpentor. Now, yeah, he kind of went out like a punk in the comics in a very cool way, but, I mean, what character embodied Cobra even more than Cobra Commander than Serpentor? And he would go hand in hand with the Dr. Mindbender figure that was on this list. I mean, Dr. Mindbender created him, so, yeah, that's a no-brainer. Release both of them, and you have an awesome backstory and playtime fun right there. Now, do I feel like that they will make a Serpentor eventually? I hope so. I mean, I have no idea how far they're willing to go with the classified line, since they are jumping to this retro card version. I don't know if that's going to overtake the regular classified line. I kind of hope not. I hope we have two lines running in tandem, kind of like with Star Wars with the black and the vintage. I mean, that would be pretty cool. And, you know, of course, they're releasing vintage O-ring figures again. I mean, I think they are taking a page out of the Star Wars playbook and having all of these things hit the shelves at one time, and which is great with different price points. The fans can choose what they want to collect. But with that being said, I would love to see Serpentor finally come to the classified line. Number 4 on the list is another specialized trooper for Cobra that would be a great troop builder and just a great character to have, and that is the Snow Serpent. I'm surprised at the popularity of the Snow Serpent. I mean, I love it. He looks awesome, but I was surprised that 124 people voted for him, and he's number 4 on the list. I mean, he came in above Serpentor. Now, again, this would be a character that would be very well suited for, like, the added on armor and stuff that they have made for the Joe and Cobra line. I mean, you could make him have a very bulky winter coat, the fur lining of the gloves and the neck piece, give him his snowshoes, his backpack with the missile attachment, his AK-47, throw in a knife, a sidearm. I mean, you could even, you know, give him the awesome face mask and helmet type getup. But you could also include a hood, like I mentioned they could do for the Snow Job figure, like they did for the 25th anniversary line. It would just be a neat little add-on that we never really saw before with the Snow Serpent that would make complete sense. And again, I'm impressed that he came in so high on this list, and yeah, I know I'm in good company by being a huge fan of this figure. Now, to save time, because this episode has gotten a little bit long, just like the G.I. Joe one, so to save you guys some time, I'm going to group the top 3 together, and I'll break them down by the amount of votes they got. Number 3 is the Dreadnought Torch with 134 votes. Number 2 is Dreadnought Ripper with 141 votes. And number 1 is Dreadnought Buzzer with 143 votes. People want the OG Dreadnocks. I mean, they could sell them as a 3-pack for like $60, and I don't think people would think twice about buying them. Give them their original gear, their simplistic biker Dreadnought outfits with blue jeans and shirts, and, you know, add like some of their jewelry accessories, Buzzer with his ponytail, I mean, Torch with removable glasses even. They don't need to do much, but they need to excel in the accessories department, because the original Dreadnoughts had some awesome gear. Everything from chainsaw guns to bladed rifles to flamethrowers. I mean, these are where these figures excelled, I think. And the characters are awesome, but their gear is what made them. I mean, their names are based off of what weapons they used. So, like I said, Hasbro, throw them in a 3-pack. I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with it. I don't think a lot of other people would have a problem with paying $60 for an awesome 3-pack and just grab all the Dreadnoughts at one time and add them to with Zartan in your collection. I mean, all the other Dreadnocks on this list are pretty cool, but you need to make these. It'd be great to see all the other ones, but these are an essential part of the classified line. They need to make these. And yeah, $60, a small price to pay for such awesome, original, great characters. Anyway, I've kept you long enough, especially considering that this was 2 episodes. So I hope you gave the first one a watch, and you're watching this one. Well, of course you would be if you're hearing me say this. But anyway, thank you again to Cornelius McGillicuddy for his hard and just tedious work that he put in on this awesome list. And like I said, I will include the original episode of my wish list at the end of this episode, and if you click over there and look at the comments, you will see his is pinned at the top, and you can look at just how deep these lists go. And if you enjoyed all these, we can talk about those lists in depth in a later episode. So just hit me up in the comments if that's something you would like to see in the future. Now anyway, again, thank you, Cornelius. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you got something to say, please leave a comment. I love reading them, and I love getting back to everybody. And if you're new around here and you enjoyed this or my wish list video, please hit subscribe. And if you hit that little bell icon, you will be notified whenever there's a new episode. So anyway, until next time, thanks for watching. Keep being rad and stay dorky.